waves can travel for several kilometers well inland. The topography there and the shoreline also very important when we talk about tsunamis here. The shallower we're talking, the worse it's going to be, the higher the wave heights are going to be. We are now upgraded to an 8.9. That is a great earthquake here. Again, this is on par with the 2004 Banda Aceh that generated that major tsunami. Here's what I want to do, if you'll allow me. The tsunami warning is still in effect for Japan, Russia, Northern Marianas. Guam has now been added as well, and Taiwan. Those are now in tsunami warning mode. Taiwan was upgraded as well. We have wave heights reported of 3.5 feet. That's a meter. Again, that's just offshore here. So what happens as that wave continues to build, you run out of ground here, and because of the bathymetry of the shore there, very shallow there, we're seeing you continue to get that wave height becoming higher and higher. Rosemary, 6.8 in just the last few minutes has hit offshore of Honshu. That in itself would be a major earthquake here. That in itself could actually generate another tsunami here, so we'll have to watch things closely. Again, threat for Japan is not over. As we know, the initial tsunami wave is not the only one that hit. Sometimes the secondary or even the third one that comes in is actually higher and is worse here. So the threat is going to be ongoing here across Japan. And then we have the watches, of course, for the Philippines, Marshall Islands. We have watches for Johnston Island, Solomon Islands, Kiribati, and Hawaii as well. Let me know what you guys want to do, but what I eventually want to do, if you'll allow me, is actually get into the arrival times, because we're not just telling a story that happened ago, right?
Yeah,
this is
let's
do it, because I mean this is
because there's people watching right across the globe who want to know all of that.
This is what people want to know, and I tell you, I'm going to do it in GMT time because that is what I have here. I'm not going to be able to convert that on the fly for you if you're local, but if you're watching us from Taiwan, the tsunami arrives at 9:30 GMT. That is not much time for folks to get off shore here and get into higher ground. Philippines, tsunami arrives at 9:55 GMT. Marshall Islands, tsunami arrives at 10:13 GMT. Indonesia, tsunami arrives at 10:49 GMT. Papua New Guinea at 11:24 GMT. And when we talk about Kiribati, it arrives at 12:28 GMT. Those are the initial arrival times of the first tsunami wave. There could be additional waves, and if you're watching us from places that are under a watch and I didn't name you, that is because you have several hours to prepare yourselves, and we'll continue to update this list as that initial wave continues to get closer. Rosemary.
Ivan, we're looking at these pictures. We can see something is ablaze there on the ground as this very strange wave of mud and debris with boats included and cars and all sorts of things. It's when you see something like this, Ivan, unfold before your very eyes that you get an idea of why there's nowhere to run when you have something like that coming so fast toward you. And of course, you know, it appears to be fairly slow when you're looking aerially, but if you're on the ground and that is moving at such a fast speed, you can see the boat there.
Just unbelievable pictures. There's a building or a couple of buildings that are on fire and are moving with the tsunami. That is just something you just never seen before, and there's a pretty big vessel there getting pushed to shore. The one good thing that I'm seeing here, there are homes now in the way, but generally, if you've noticed, Rosemary, this has been through farmland here. There's that fire that I've been talking about, a moving blaze along the tsunami. Just unbelievable stuff here.
And Ivan, I'm getting word there is some nat sound here. Let's just pause for a moment, just have a listen.
See live coverage in the Sendai area, Miyagi Prefecture, north of Japan. For those of you who have just tuned in to NHK World, a major earthquake hit Japan Friday afternoon about an hour ago, hour and 10 minutes ago. Japan's meteorological agency says the quake measured magnitude 8.4. It has revised it upwards to 8.4. The agency has issued a tsunami warning for Japan's Pacific coast. In northeastern Japan's Iwate Prefecture, tsunami waves of over 4 meters were observed soon after the quake. The agency is warning that the tsunami could reach between 6 and 10 meters. We're getting reports of several buildings on fire. We do not know in regards to the exact amount of damage at this time, but we are soon to get a report from Japan's meteorological agency. They're setting up to find out the extent of the damage. All transportation systems in Tokyo as well as northern Japan has been stopped. Airports closed in Tokyo, Haneda, as well as Narita Airport. A great earthquake has hit Japan. Magnitude 8.4 in northern Japan. Agency has been warning a tsunami ever since the quake, and tsunami has hit the Miyagi Sendai area as our live helicopter camera crew are up covering and showing you exactly what is going on at this time. Deputy Chief Cabinet Secretary Tetsuro Fukuyama told reporters on Friday that the governor of Miyagi Prefecture, where the earthquake has hit hardest, has asked the government to send self-defense force units to deal with the situation and aid the situation. Defense Ministry officials say self-defense force personnel are currently contacting local governments and related agency to assess the extent of the damage. Earlier, Prime Minister Naoto Kan and his cabinet ministers have gathered at the Prime Minister's office, where an emergency task force has been set up to respond to the earthquake. The task force will gather information on damage and prepare for more possible tsunamis. Japan's Foreign Minister Takeaki Matsumoto has ordered his officials to start preparing to accept foreign assistance. He has also told them to check on the safety of foreigners living here in Japan. The Pacific Tsunami Warning Center has issued a tsunami warning not just for Japan, but also for Russia, Marcus Island, the Northern Marianas, Guam, Wake Island, and Taiwan. The Pacific Tsunami Warning Center has issued a tsunami warning not just for Japan, where a tsunami has already struck, and you can see some of the damages so far in Miyagi Prefecture, northern Japan, and the Sendai area, but also for Russia, Marcus Island, the Northern Marianas, Guam, Wake Island, and Taiwan. For those of you who have just tuned in and living anywhere close to the coastal areas of Russia, Marcus Island, Northern Marianas, Guam, Wake Island, and Taiwan, please do not go near the waters. Move to higher ground as soon as possible. You're watching NHK World, and a major earthquake hit Japan Friday afternoon. This happened about an hour and 20 minutes ago. Japan's meteorological agency says the quake measured magnitude 8.4. The agency has issued a tsunami warning for Japan's Pacific coast. In northern Japan's Iwate Prefecture, tsunami waves of up to 4 meters were observed soon after the quake. The agency is warning that the tsunami could be between 6 and 10 meters. You're seeing some of the tsunami damage so far in Miyagi Prefecture, in the Sendai area, where some of the homes and farms have been flooded when the tsunami went upstream a river. According to the Transport Ministry, Haneda International Airport has reopened 2 of its 4 runways. Haneda International Airport has reopened 2 of its 4 runways. The airport had earlier closed all runways.